Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Peace and blessings be upon all of you. This is part 2 of my Revert story. So I had a couple comments last from some people that watched the video, so I'm doing a little bit some things differently. First, I would like to start with some of the replies I got, some of the comments on my last video. The first one is from Muslim Revert Stories. He said, "Welcome to Islam. May Allah bless you and always give you and your loved ones only the best in this world and the best in the hereafter. Ameen." Thank you very much. That's one thing about Islam that I feel is something that is very bonding, and is the way that people from all around the world, from different cultures, different languages, different backgrounds, different races, can then just come together and become brothers. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have another comment from Melteam O. And she said, "What a great video, brother. Can you make a video where you go into details of your life before Islam? Like if you lived a hedonistic lifestyle and what it looked like." And I will do that. Maybe in another video. Maybe I'll do a part 3 or do that in part 3 perhaps. And someone named Name says, "Please do a reaction video. For example, reaction to meaning of life, Muslim spoken word." I've heard that before. I've listened to it. It's very nice. Perhaps we'll do some reaction videos after I figure out a little bit more how to do some editing and things like this. So I think where I left off before was I was talking about when I started to become interested in Islam. I didn't know what it was. I had a lot of preconceived ideas about what it was. So I was on a soul search and I started to read the Quran. And so I think that's where I left off. I was going to begin talking about reading the Quran. So, so when I started to read the Quran, some of the things that jumped out at me were that this seemed like the same message that I had been familiar with in the Old Testament. This same style, if you will, same message. To serve one God. There's only one God. This is stressed over and over again. So that's one of the things that really jumped out at me. And also the fact that there's a lot of the same prophets and messengers that are mentioned in the Old Testament. And we'll come to the New Testament after this, but in the Old Testament, you have the same prophets, the same stories, but the stories are a little bit clearer. They are a little bit more, how would you say? They make more sense. I guess that would be the best way to say it. They just make more sense if you're reading through it. You come away with a sense of understanding, whereas if you read some things in the Old Testament, you kind of are a little bit confused. You have to, I don't know how you can rectify some of the things there, but we can go into that in maybe a part 6 or 7 if you guys are interested. Trying out a microphone, so I'm going to try to see if I don't have to sit so close to the camera, how this works out. Let's see. So when I was reading through the Quran, I liked the message. It was simplified. It spoke to me. It was a different way of reaching the part of me that was looking for the answers in my life at that time, and still am. I still find those answers now. It was done in a much more clearer and understandable way. That was when you're comparing the Old Testament to Islam. Same basic dietary things, same basic laws. To jump back to this very, very important thing called in Arabic called Tawheed. Tawheed is basically the oneness, the concept of oneness of Allah, God, that cannot be split, nothing like God. There's nothing that can be compared to God. Whatever our imagination can conceive of, it's more than that. You have to understand that the concept of God in Islam and Judaism are very close. They're very, very similar. You can go online, you can find a lot of interviews with Jewish people who talk about the similarities between Judaism and Islam and Christianity. It's very interesting, the things that they'll say. And then when it comes to the New Testament, and in the New Testament compared to Islam, there's a lot of difference, I guess. So I guess what we could say is the same. The same is that we were given a messenger, we were given a person that came and gave us an understanding, a way to understand God, a way that we can serve God, a way to know God, or to do what God wants, what God wills. And if you read through it, you get that message. When Jesus is speaking in the New Testament, you have to weed through a lot of different things, because you have to understand that when the New Testament was compiled, they took many different books from different churches, different types of Christians around that area, and they put them together. And we won't go into Paul yet. That could be another. I like to do some reaction videos to maybe the Apostle Paul and exactly what his role in Christianity was, which, in my opinion, he came and he was changing everything, saying things that Jesus in the New Testament never said. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that the basic message is the same. Be good to people. Be caring, loving, serving God, and just preparing yourself in this life for the life that's coming after this one. Because we do believe that this is not the end of all. When we die, we continue. Our souls live on. We're not reborn again into like a different form or anything. Who you are is who you will be in a purified form if you live a good life and you don't take anything other than God as something worthy of worship. You just only want to serve God. So yeah, that's the similarities. The differences, of course, is the Trinity, the whole concept of the Trinity. This is not something that Muslims understand. We don't understand it. It's not something that's understandable. It's not logical. I love my Christians, my Christian people. I was a Christian at one time. I loved Jesus. Now I love Isa alayhi salam. He was sent to his people with a message, and I still follow that same message. When Jesus prayed, he put his face down onto the ground. This is what Muslims do 5 times a day, at least. Sujood, it's called. You are submitting yourself to God. So that was from reading the Quran. These are the differences and the similarities that I found. I told you also before I was a little bit into like religious studies, comparative religious studies. So I don't want to keep this too long. It's already 9 minutes. I don't want to keep it too long. Maybe we could go into how Buddhism, Hinduism, the similarities and differences there. For me, I believe that as a Muslim, that Allah has sent prophets to all of mankind, and over time, those messages got altered and changed. human desires got mixed in. They were used as a way of controlling people. So this is interesting when you look at all the world religions. Taoism. Taoism is about seeking balance, and Muslim prayer, we say to Allah, we say keep us on the straight path, which is balance. So there's all these things that Islam encompasses, all of these things. And it's a very easy way to get to know God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an easy way, it's a beautiful way. And I hope you come back for part 3. Give me some more questions. I'll try to go into a little bit more detail about what my life like was before and then after. One of the things I could say is about before and after was before I was seeking, and now I found what I was looking for. I don't have that thing that's missing anymore. When I used to do meditation, and I would sit there for 30, whatever odd minutes, just meditating, doing the breathing before I became a Muslim. You can reach this state. Okay, if you know, you know. But I have found that through the prayer, I'm able to reach that state, an even better state, when, for example, you go into the sujood. When you're in sujood, if you don't know, that's when a Muslim's forehead and nose, the bridge of the nose, your 2 hands, your 2 knees, and your toes on your feet, all are touching the ground. And you are before the Creator. When you're doing that and you're in that position and you let go of yourself, you let go of your ego, you let go of yourself and you forget who you are and you only think about the Creator, and the force that has created the universe, of everything that you can see and everything that you cannot see. There's realities that we don't even know about, and the Creator of all has made these wondrous things. So for me, it's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, the prayer. So if you are interested, you could look online and see how Muslims pray, and the different spiritual aspects behind it, the different movements, the different prayers, the different things that we say. So I hope that was interesting. Please give me some reply, a little bit of one of those thumbs up or something, a like. Tell other people maybe if they're interested, they can check this out. And I'll try to keep this a little bit more, I would say a little more interesting. I'm trying to learn myself how to do a little bit more, putting things into the video and things like that. So those things will come, inshallah, God willing, okay? So I'll do a number 3. So I'll answer those questions more about what my life was like before and what it was after. I'll go into more detail. And I'll answer any other questions if you ask me, inshallah. So please do that, like, all that stuff. And I think that's it for now. It's a little bit longer, 14 minutes almost. So thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you read this. And look into yourself. Think about your life and how you can make it better. Think about how you can make this world a better place for tomorrow. Try not to think of yourself. This world is a test. This world is it's just momentary. It's just like a blink of the eye for what's coming. So prepare yourselves for what's coming. And the way you prepare yourself is by seeking God, serving God. And we serve God by supplicating ourselves and letting go of ourselves and letting God run through us to do what He wants. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.